All right, welcome to your first chair yoga class. Purpose of this class is to get you doing some stretches and not make an excuse to get out of it. We're going to start off with some belly breaths. We're going to do 10 breaths here. The hands are placed over the navel so that you really work on breathing and getting your head to set up your physiology to stay nice and calm so you get the most out of your stretches. Now the purpose of this video, after you do 10 nice controlled breaths, each of these stretches is held for about 15 seconds. So you can do it just one time through. You can do it at this speed. Once you identify it, you can increase the speed at which you watch the video just as a reminder. Very nice. Shoulders are relaxed. All right. Turn my hat around. All right. I doing a lateral neck stretch, head to one side. I use the non-working arm. I'm extending that arm down to create a little more stretch in the lateral part of the upper traps, as well as levator scap. I'll do both sides. Remember, with all these stretches, you're going moderate, and that's part of the reason I like chair yoga routines, is because no one talks themselves out of it, and so it tends to happen. After you stretch both sides of the neck, move on to a classic twist. So you can grab onto the back of your chair, or just place the hand to the outside of the knee and rotate around. Stay nice and tall through your spine. We don't want to hide away and round the back. Rotate as far back as the body will allow. And then switch sides. This is great for the low back. If you're lucky, you might get a little realignment. That's usually a happy place. If you have time to do this, you can do this routine completely twice through as opposed to once, which it is live doing. It'll be about 8 minutes in total. All right. Classic figure 4 position. I'm placing my foot across my knee. I'm pushing down on the knee, and then I'm hinging forward. If you do this right, you're feeling this side is your left hip and your left piriformis, which will impact a lot of your back position. So when someone says, hey, let's stretch our back, let's do something for your back, I'm like, oh, that's a varied question. Again, pushing down, leaning forward. And notice the asymmetries. Personally, my right side is always tight. So for the purpose of this video, I kept it the same. But in general, I'll do one side a little bit longer. So you can stop this video at any point and spend a little more time if you want, or just continue to keep following along. All right, little seated butterfly. Scoot my butt to the edge of the stool. Feet, best they can, touch each other. Then I'm pushing out on my knees to stretch the groin a little bit. Nice. Continue to breathe, slow and controlled. All right. Internal rotation. So if you've been driving for extended periods of time, the hips get real tight and they wreak havoc on the back. So I let my knee roll to the inside. It's sort of like a variation of a hurdler stretch that you might do on the floor. I use my hand to push the knee inward a little bit. If you feel any stress on the inner part of the knee, you're going too far. Internal rotate, a little pressure. Let the hip open up. This is the opposite movement of the figure 4 stretch, which you just did. So you're just getting the rotators of the hips. You're giving them some love. All right, moving on, probably my favorite stretch to hold for extended periods of time, and actually in many ways to hold up using the stool because it holds up your weight. So this is a hip flexor stretch. So I adjust my hips so that my right cheek is what's sitting on. And you'll see I just adjusted and added a spinal rotation as well. So if your back's tight and you get in that nice lunge position, it feels like it's available, you can rotate, add that rotation as well. Switch into the other side. nice long position, stretching out the hip flexors. All right, classic quad stretch. Now look, any and all of these can be done standing as well. Again, if you've had a long day of travel or just feeling low energy, using the chair can help. If for some reason you can't reach back and grab the foot, you can use a strap or your belt to grab it. Again, the hip flexors will come out and attach on that high quad, and that can lead to a sore, achy low back. Now we get a little bit more into classic low back. This is a bent leg forward fold. A couple of variations. You can place the hands on the floor. If the body allows, you can grab opposite elbows. I'll settle into the stretch. I'll tend to move a little bit, breathe, and see if my body will open up and allow me to go a little lower. Just a classic hamstring stretch from a seated position. I extend one leg, reach down, grab the toe. If the toe is not available, it's no big deal. You can just reach for the knee. The whole point is to stretch out the back of that leg. So whatever that means. Switching to the other side. What I love about the chair yoga positions is that it decreases intensity. We're never looking to get beyond a 2 or a 3 on your intensity scale. Because of that, it'll shift you into the parasympathetic system and lead to a little bit better night's sleep, a little more relaxed stretching, and actually greater mobility. So if it feels too intense, back off. And we finish off with 10 belly breaths to sort of seal off the practice, add a little bit of a meditative quality. Hands are over the navel. I distend my abdomen as I breathe. If you have time, you can do this twice through. Nice work.